So we're going to start again. Amy Chace, we're here talking with you about the powerful perspective Oracle deck. We love it. We love it. We love it. And I've been interviewing you all day. I've asked you the exact same question 15 times at least, but I'm going to ask you it again for the people who didn't say it before. Were you a artistic kid when you were growing up, or tell us a brief story?
Took some charcoal, drew all over the back of the garage, got busted by my father, who kindly offered me a way out by offering me some more paper. And that's exactly, I said, yes, I absolutely need more paper.
Fabulous, fabulous.
I definitely would not have drawn on the garage if I had more paper.
And from my understanding, you also had an art studio of your own as a toddler? Kindergarten?
Yeah, my mom had an art studio. She's a watercolor artist. And there was an extra room in the house. And so she made me my own studio. And she turned my changing table into art supply station and put a table in there and a chair, and that was my studio.
Nice.
I worked in that studio. I worked on my little kindergarten projects in that studio.
Honey, I love that. I love hearing supportive parents who really support the kids in the things that they enjoy or like to do. I love that.
Yeah.
So now getting to the present and like the now, your adulthood, this is not your first foray into doing an oracle deck. So this is your second oracle deck. This is the second one right here. So your first one is manifesting your greatness, correct? That's your very first one. So let's talk briefly about that. How did number one come to be?
Well, short version is I really needed an oracle deck.
Right.
So I made one because I needed it. And I knew if I wrote these words, I would continue to be this person, and I would do the things that I say that I am.
Okay.
And authentically, and I would stick to that. And it helped get my husband and I out of a bad situation with his mom.
Nice.
And that was part of it. Also, like I needed help myself, so I think some ancestors came in to help me with the project, because honestly, a lot of it was a blur.
Right.
A lot of it was a blur.
And so this first oracle deck that you have, which is manifesting your greatness, which you just showed, has a companion book to it. So how do those two work together?
Oh, well, I wrote the book and I did the artwork for the first deck, the Manifesting Your Greatness. The words just, come from editing. I did the artwork first. I think, you know what? The first version of the manuscript for this deck was not the bullet points that you see now. It was actually a little bit more of a memoir. And they were like, this artwork is great, but can you do the writing for other people? And I said, this is kind of behind the scenes. I didn't even mean to go here, but it's how it works.
Right.
And I said, yeah, I can. And so we went ahead with this project, and it came out fantastic, and I still use it, and it's still valid, and I love it. I changed Pandora to Spotify. That's the only thing that needed to be changed, probably, for the second edition.
Right.
And it's on Red Feather. I should say this anyway. It's on Red Feather, MBS, Red Feather Mind Body Spirit. which is the Mind, Body, Spirit imprint of Schiffer Publishing. And they did a great job on this deck. And they did an even better job on the new deck, Powerful Perspectives.
Right there. There, gotcha.
They did a fantastic, Red Feather did an amazing job with this deck. The book is cool. The box is cool. It's got a magnetic-y flappy flap. I'm glad they went for it. You know, I'm glad they just. I didn't suggest any of the design of the box or anything, and this was what they did. This is what they decided, and I was just like, wow, blown away.
Nice, nice.
You know, I was blown away by the first deck, but the second deck, so cool, beveled edges. You know?
Right. Who is this for? Who is the person who would be buying this Powerful Perspectives Oracle deck?
I personally would like to think that everybody is invited to this party, which is probably my perspective and motto on life in general, which is why the images are so inclusive.
Right.
But that's neither here nor there. What was the question?
The question is, who is this Oracle deck for? Who is going to get value from it? Who is going to use it?
Somebody, you don't have to believe in anything in particular. And you know what? When you take me off and put Amanda on, she explains this even better. But you don't have to be of a particular religious bent. Like if you believe in energy, which you probably should, then you can use this deck. You don't have to be a witch. You don't have to be a Christian mystic. You don't have to be any particular thing to use this deck. And I think that's important. And that was important to me, and that was important to Amanda too. And so we're of the same mind on that.
So we keep you mentioning Amanda Rhodes. Amanda Rhodes, for everyone who's just popping on, is the writer, and Amy Chace is the artist who did all of the beautiful artwork on the box, the cards, and the book. We're going to talk with Amanda Rhodes, who is a medium who lives in British Columbia, Canada. Thank you very much. And we're going to dive into this Oracle deck. I'm going to show you some cards. I'm going to have Amanda talk about it. So please stay on. Amy, thank you so much. I love your deck. I love that I have this, that this is mine. Mine, all mine.
I love that you have this, my friend.
Love it, and I can't wait to use it and put it to some really good use. Okay, I love you, Amy Chace.
Love you.
Where can people find you? Where can people find you? Yes.
My favorite place right now is Instagram. So it's at CHACEAMY. Chase Amy, but not Chase like the bank. Chase like CHACE.
Fabulous.
No S's.
No S's. No S's here, honey.
No S's.
No.
All right, thank you. I'll log off and I'll log back on to watch Amanda. Thank you.
You don't have to log off because I'm just going to bop you right off and I'll bop her right in. On your screen right now is the one and only Miss Amanda Rhodes, all the way in Canada. Sister, what's the weather like there today?
It's raining and it's cold. We're supposed to have snow at the end of next week, actually, apparently. But I'm hoping it doesn't happen.
It's going to happen, girl. Come on. It's winter. Come on.
I have a deck signing next Saturday. I don't want it to rain. Or snow. I mean, it can rain.
Love that. I love that. Well, you're here. We figured out a way to see each other. I'm so happy to see you again. And you are the writer of the wonderful, Powerful Perspectives Oracle deck. I don't know if we had talked about this before, in this interview, but what is the difference between an oracle deck and a tarot deck? Can you explain to the people who are watching?
Sure. Well, tarot follows very specific format. So when you buy a tarot deck, no matter what theme it is, it's going to have 78 cards. It's going to have 21 major arcana, and it's going to have 4 suits of minor arcana. So it follows a very specific formula.
Right.
No matter what theme you have, you're going to have the Fool, you're going to have the Empress, you're going to have the Lovers, you're going to have Death, you're going to have Judgment. All of those cards, they just might have different names. With Oracle, you can do as many or as few cards as you like, and the interpretation is more of a direct interpretation, I find, with Oracle than with Tarot. I mean, Oracle you can take in a lot of different directions depending on the complexity of the artwork, but I just feel like Oracle is a little bit more expansive or a little bit more free, if that makes sense, with interpretation.
Yeah, yes. And so for you, have you been a writer all your life? Have you had other jobs? Like, very briefly, tell me about your writing history.
Oh, I've been writing since I could write. Since I learned to put letters on paper, I have been writing. And I mean, writing has always been a dream. Being published has been a dream of mine. I've always worked sort of muggle jobs, that I call them. So I do run a normal 9 to 5 like everybody else. I have a family.
Yeah.
I have bills to pay. So yeah, I've just been writing forever, hoping that something would become published and I could get more messages out there.
Nice, nice. And you've been a medium for how long now?
I've been practicing with the public for about 8 years now as a medium.
Nice, nice. And tell me one really early story of your mediumship, of when you kind of knew you had the gift.
One of my earliest experiences was when I was very small and my grandfather was in hospital dying, and I stopped walking. And my mom took me to the hospital and asked the doctor, like, I don't know what's wrong with Amanda. She suddenly stopped walking. She's not talking. She's not really interacting. What's wrong? Has something, medically happened? And the doctor took more of a holistic approach and asked, like, what's going on at home? And my mom explained that my granddad was in the hospital and he was dying. And that was why they think I stopped walking, talking, and interacting, because he actually died not long after this experience happened.
Wow.
So I've had it from being quite small.
Right. Wow. Wow. So the Oracle deck, we're going to do a little diving. How did you meet Amy, very briefly?
I met Amy very randomly on Instagram because she was doing card of the day just like I was. And I saw her deck and I really loved the artwork. I loved that it was practical and colorful. And I asked her, like, whose deck are you using? And she said, it's mine. And I said, well, where do you get it? And she said, do you have Barnes and Noble? And I was like, no, I'm Canadian. And she said, oh, how about Amazon? So I picked one up on Amazon. And as soon as I got it, I messaged her and I said, hey, can I use this in my card of the day posts? And she said, well, sure. Yeah, go ahead. So I started, and she would like my posts and read them. And she was like, I really like the way you put things. And I was like, I really like your art. And so we decided to collaborate and work together on this deck as two complete strangers from two different ends of the continent.
Mm-hmm. And that was the Manifesting Your Greatness Oracle deck, the very first one Amy did, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's how we met, was through that deck. So
Nice.
We were manifested for each other, I think.
Manifested for greatness. Look at that. Look at that. And now we are here at the Powerful Perspectives Oracle deck. So this deck has a very unique feature that most Oracle decks don't necessarily have. And do you want to explain a little bit about that?
So the cards in this deck can be read upright and in reverse. So as we said in another broadcast we were doing, it's actually 80 cards. You've got 40 cards in the box, but because they can be read upright, so right now you have that in reverse because the number's upside down. And now that would be the upright position. So each orientation of the deck has 2 different interpretations. So it's actually like having an 80 card deck. You do have 80 interpretations in this deck.
Fabulous. And who is this deck for? Like, who is the person that's going to give value out of this deck?
This deck is for anyone. This deck is for people who have collected decks and read Oracle or Tarot for their entire lives, or somebody who might be picking up their absolute first deck. I think that regardless of your religious belief system, maybe you don't like talking about source or the woo-woo aspect or the occult aspect, you can take that right out of these. These can just be pieces of paper that give you insight and information that you need in the moment that you need it. So I think it's for anybody that wants to pick it up and get a little bit of insight on the go.
Fabulous. And where can people get this fabulous deck?
You can get them at Barnes & Noble. You can get them at Amazon.com. You can get them through our publisher at Schiffer Red Feather, Mind, Body, Spirit, so you can look them up. Or you can get it online, worldwide, free shipping at bookdepository.com. Amy also has her Etsy store, which I think she mentioned. And if people reach out to me, I can mail one too. So if you want to reach out to me at Amanda the Medium on Instagram or at Amanda Rhodes Spiritual Medium on Facebook, I can send you one as well that's signed.
Yes. The signed copies, I think, are very, very great. People would want them. They're just so, this deck is just so incredible. I'm just showing you all some of the cards so you kind of get an idea of what this deck is all about. It's not a traditional oracle deck. It is a little different, but where does this fit in the oracle deck world? Like, would this be a main deck that you would use to do a complete reading, or where does it fit in?
I think this deck can fit wherever you want to put it. It can go with a regular tarot reading. You could use it for additional guidance. You could use it as a standalone deck. You could use it pretty much anywhere to complement anything, whether it's your 1-card daily pull, your 3-card, give me an outlook on this situation or that situation, whether it's a full spread. You can use as many or as few as you want.
Nice. The artwork is just amazing. I just want to talk briefly about how the other unusual part of this deck is that the artwork came first. This was not artwork that came from your words. Your words came from the artwork. How was that what was the process, first of all, of making that happen?
So Amy would send me in the mail copies of all of the artwork. Later we graduated to her just scanning and emailing them to me, but I would print them off and I would stick them on my office wall. And then every day I make it a goal of mine to write, whether it's a couple sentences, a paragraph, something, just to show up for myself. And so while I was writing this deck, I came into the office and I would look at like my wall of cards, my wall of artwork. I still remember my little 5-year-old son looking up at them going, "Whoa, Mom, that's a lot of color." And, like, I would look at it and I go, "Okay, Spirit, what are we writing today? What pulls today? What do we see today?" And I would grab the card that pulled to me, rip it off the wall, write a number on the back, and then go to my computer and just write my interpretation.
Right. Nice.
Like that one you're holding up. Like there's conflict in that card. You can see the two people sort of yelling at each other. And I mean, I think I wrote that around at least things are being said. Even if there's conflict, we get things out of ourselves. And when we say things that need to be said, we gain an understanding where there was no understanding before. So I think that's one of the big themes of that card as well. Everything that I noticed, I sort of wrote around what I noticed, but there's so much in that card that you can see that I haven't talked about. So there's so much room for your own growth, your own use, and your own interpretation with this deck. Like the possibilities are really endless here.
Fabulous. Well, I just want to say thank you so much for this opportunity to interview you and also Amy and really find out about this powerful perspectives oracle deck. It's amazing. It's beautiful. I can't wait to use it, and I can't wait to turn other people onto it who do this type of work. Once again, it's a powerful perspectives oracle deck. You can get this on, and that's where you come in, Amanda. Where can they get it again? We got let them know, honey.
You can get them at Barnes & Noble. You can get them at Chapters Indigo. You can get them online with world free shipping or worldwide free shipping. Look, I screwed up my line the last time.
That's all right.
At bookdepository.com. You can get them from Schiffer MBS, which is the publisher, or you can get them from Amy's Etsy store, which she's mentioned, Amazon, I think I mentioned already, And hopefully your favorite Mind, Body, Spirit store will be carrying them as well.
Fabulous. And where can people find you?
You can find me here on Facebook at Amanda Rhodes Spiritual Medium, or you can find me on Instagram at Amanda the Medium.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for taking your time out of your day to talk to us. I'm super excited about this deck. Thank you once again. It's the Powerful Perspectives Oracle deck, available to you on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, all the good places. I love you all. Thank you for being here, and bye.
Bye. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you. Bye.